Hey guys, I just got out of the gym and I want a super high protein packed meal. Now this is something that I created over the months and it just got better and better until I perfected it. This is what I contribute to a lot of my success losing weight and putting on a lot of muscle because it's relatively zero fat, very low calories, and super high in protein. Now if you ever had ground turkey breast before, you understand that it's pretty bland, but I found a way to make it really good. First step, we're going to turn our oven on and pour a little bit of oil in here. And again, as always, we don't use too much oil because, we don't want to saturate our foods in additional fat, and we just want to kind of spread it around the pan just enough to get a base. And the first step is going to be to throw in our onions. And the onions are actually my most recent step, which I think perfected the dish. It cooks the ground turkey really well, and it adds a lot of flavor, and it's not overpowering at all. So we're going to mix these in, make sure they get all oily, and those are going to saute. At the same time, after you put in those onions, we're going to start opening up our beans. These are just dark red kidney beans. You can use light red. And these are 3 small ones. I usually just use 1 giant can of light red kidney beans. You want to make sure that you get all the fluids out. A lot of the gas you'll get from beans is caused from the liquid. So the more that you drain them, the better. That's less farting later. Beans, good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the better you feel. So eat your beans with every meal. No, really, don't eat your beans with every meal, or the world will be a very, very smelly place. One trick I like to do is to prevent from just having to sit there and drain it. I will just put this upside down in the sink, like so. It works better with the big can. And it'll just drain on its own. Notice how I didn't use the can opener and go all the way around. I went about 70%. That way I can put the last can upside down in here. And about the time that you have all 3 cans or your 1 can done, the onions are going to be sauteing. As you can see, they're snap, crackling, popping. So we're ready to put the turkey in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the onions over so I can set the turkey down. Make sure that you get ground turkey breast, guys, not regular turkey. The breast has much less fat. And we're just going to throw that guy in there. Alright, and now we're going to split this up. Now the trick is, we want to get this turkey as tiny little pieces as possible. We want it to be ground. We don't want any big chunks. It's going to cook better this way. It's going to be easier for your bites. Less turkey flavor and more of everything else. So we want to break that up as small as we can. And when it starts cooking, it'll be a little bit easier to break up as well. Alright, as you can see, the turkey and the onions are all cooked now. So we can kind of stir these together, and then we're going to throw in our beans. All 3 cans, just put them on top. Boom, bam, pow. Now, I know this is really heavy on beans, but I love beans, especially when they're cooked in this way with the onions and the meat. They just add so much flavor. In fact, my favorite part of this dish is the beans, so I'll load them on. And the final topping is brown rice. This is just a Uncle Ben's brown rice mixture. It's microwave. Put it in the microwave for 90 seconds. I don't even microwave it, right? I just put it on top. And the reason I put brown rice in here is because the mixture between rice and beans forms a complete protein. It's healthy. That's where a lot of native countries don't have a lot of meat, get their main sources of protein. And we're going to mix this all together. Now, I know this dish looks kind of weird, but it is delicious, and it is the healthiest thing you could possibly eat. For the amount of fat to protein ratio, I seriously don't know if anything else you can make even comes close. This is going to cook really, really fast, so I'm going to cover it. And about every 2 to 3 minutes I'm going to come by and I am going to stir it up. The bottom will start to brown, it'll start to stick, so you want to make sure that you're continually mixing it up, and you want to put the bottom on the top and kind of like use your spatula to flip it over. Alright, so it's been about 3 minutes. You can hear it start sizzling, especially on the bottom, so what I want to do is make sure that the bottom gets switched to the top, and I kind of just go like that. And just make sure that we're getting even heat distribution. So you do have to pay attention to it. You can't just sit there and go play video games for a half hour and expect to have a meal. You do have to pay attention to it, but actually it doesn't take a half hour. It actually only cooks for about, let's say, 8 to 10 minutes. Alright, so we'll probably do that 2 to 3 times. And put the lid back on. Alright, it's been about 8 total minutes. So you can see in the bottom, everything's getting real brown and a little bit charcoaly, just how I like it, and it is done. So we're going to turn the oven off, and we're going to let this sit for a minute or two just to cool off because it is way too hot to eat. And it is going to be delicious. So we're going to load up a plate here. I make my own size portions. And I'm hungry. I ate green berets for breakfast. And right now, I'm really hungry. Alright, so that's a decent sized portion. That took out about a fifth of it, right? Good. As you can see, it is smoking hot. But to make it even hotter, we're going to put some Chipotle hot sauce on it. Not too much, but this adds some good flavor. Let's see how this bad boy tastes. Oh yeah. Oh, why is it so good? Time to get bad. Preheat your oven to 375. So step 1, put your chicken in aluminum foil in a pan, a baking sheet that's going to go in your oven. Step 2, add your seasoning. I like to play around with seasonings, try different ones. That's going to add a lot of the flavor to your chicken. This one is a steakhouse onion, so I'm going to lather my chicken in that. I also like to use Montreal chicken. There's some garlic and herb chicken seasonings. Just make sure that you season your chicken well, right? And I'm not going to do both sides. You can if you want to. Once I'm done washing my hands from touching the raw meat, I don't like to go back in there. So we got that. We're going to use our garlic salt. Bam, bam. 1, 2 dashes. Alright. Our crushed black pepper. And Italian seasoning. Notice how these seasonings go with freaking everything? No oil, no butter. Put it in the oven. Finally set your kitchen timer for 35 minutes. And watch it cook. In 35 minutes, so we're going to pull out our chicken and voila! Easy peasy grilled chicken. Cut this up and eat it with some grilled chicken salad, some frozen vegetables that you cooked, or you could even make some sandwiches out of it.